Tense. Tense itself means a time which make a sense is known as a tense. It is divided into three parts, that is present, second is past, and third future. And this is further, these three tenses are further divided into four parts, that is simple, simple present, simple past, simple future, second continuous, simple continuous, past continuous, future continuous, then perfect, present perfect, past perfect, and future perfect. And the fourth one is perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, and future perfect continuous. Discussing each, first taking simple present. Simple present is something which happened in the past, which happened in the future. Showing you in the diagram, for example, this is the past moment, this one is the present moment, and this is the future moment. Simple present is something which happens in the present, including the past as well as the future. But it represents all time, including the present moment. It represents all time. The past, the future, including all time, is known as present simple. In this, I, you, we, and they are plural, and he, she, and it is singular. It covers some points. Simple present represents the permanent fact. It represents us the permanent fact. It tells about the natural quality. It tells about universal truth. Further, it tells us about proverbs, newspaper headlines, and the running commentaries. Giving example of all, permanent fact. Permanent fact, for example, this road leads to Agra. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Leads and boils is simple present. It tells about simple present. Talking about natural quality. Parents love their children. It is something about which happened in the past and will happen in the future as well. A botanist studies plants. Universal truth. Sun rises from the east. Proverbs, there are many among them. A bad workman quarrels with his tool, or too many cooks spoil the broth. Newspaper headlines. India defeats Argentina by 2 goals. And the second example for it, the Prime Minister inaugurates the annual trade fair. About running commentaries, Rahul hits the ball toward the silly mid-off. The ball passes over the fielder's head and crosses the boundary. Talking something more about simple present tense, it also tells about the future event which is already planned. Future event which is already planned. For example, the Prime Minister is reaching here tomorrow. The work is already planned. My flight takes off tomorrow morning at 6:30. This is something which is planned previously. It also talks about present, simple present, about conditional clause. Conditional and time clause. Conditional clause, for example, if you park the car here, the police will fine you. So, the police will fine only if the car is parked at the place where it is not supposed to. Second example, if you seize this opportunity, you will feel happy later. So, the person will feel happy later when something will happen in the present moment, that is seizing the opportunity. Time clause, for example, as soon as I get the message, I shall pass it on to you. So the person is going to pass the message according to the time when he is going to receive the message. I repeat my example, as soon as I get the message, I shall pass it on to you. Second, I shall clear my dues when I get money from whom? So the person is going to clear the dues. Here we are taking the help of simple present. The simple present is also connected with a sentence of simple present. Like if I've said, I shall clear my dues, a simple future. When I get money from whom? I get money from whom is simple present. Coming on to next tense, present continuous tense. Present continuous tense. First, it expresses an action going on now and the moment of speaking or writing. At the moment of speaking or writing, and it expresses the action which is going on. Second, it expresses an action which is going on nowadays, not necessary at the moment of speaking. It is not necessary that at the moment of speaking, but which is happening nowadays. And third, to talk about something which is not yet finished, even if you are not doing it at the moment. Activity is to talk about something which is not yet finished, even if you are not doing it at the moment of speaking. The activity which is not yet finished, even if you are not doing it at the present moment. Giving an example of all, first is to express an action going on now at the moment of speaking or writing. For example, a very fine breeze is blowing outside. The work is still in action. Second, what are you doing? I am fixing a leaking pipe. That is what the person is doing at that moment, the moment of speaking. Second is to express an action going on these days, not necessary at the moment of speaking. Not necessary at the moment of speaking, but yes, the action is going on nowadays. For example, Ed is working as an anchor for Star TV. So it is not compulsory that at the moment you are speaking and at the same moment you are showing the person, the anchor, anchoring in Star TV. So, but this is what something happening nowadays. Take an example for it. Maxi is preparing for IIT entrance exam. So it is not compulsory that if she is preparing for IIT entrance exam, that at the moment she is speaking and she is holding a book and preparing for IIT exam. But this is what something which is happening nowadays. Third example, third point, that is to talk about something which is not yet finished, but if you are not doing it and at the moment of speaking. For example, I am learning Italian, she is writing a novel. It is not compulsory that if you are sitting to write a novel and you're speaking at the moment, you're going to finish it at that moment only. It will take time. Second, talking about difference between simple present tense simple present tense and present continuous tense. Speaking about the difference between the two, the first, that is simple present tense, it refers to a state, and present continuous, it refers to an action. Speaking about non-action verbs, to make the above note clear, for verbs of senses like hear, taste, see, smell. In this we can talk about state as well as action. I see at the blackboard. Here you're talking about state. Seeing and hearing is not used in present continuous, rather we use looking and listening. For taste and smell, it can be used in present continuous as tasting and smelling. Second comes Verbs of feeling and emotion. Verbs of feeling and emotions. For example, feel, want, desire, like, fear, love, care, want, respect, admire, and appreciation. These are the non-action verbs. Then verb of showing possession like belong, own, possess, and few words like seem, appear, resemble, matter, equal, deserve, depend, contain, consist are some of the non-action verbs. Coming on to next tense, that is simple past tense. Simple past. As there is always a confusion between simple past and present perfect tense, so we are going to discuss both. Simple past tense, this is a past moment, this is a present moment, and this is a future moment. And past is something which has happened in the past and is having no relation with the present. It tells about an action that took place at some moment of the past in time, and in this time may be indicated or implied. Took place at some point of time in the past. Some point of time in the past. Second is an action that took place over a period of time, and it also shows about some past habit, and it also expresses an improbable action. Improbable action. First point, that is an action that took place at some moment of time in the past. In this time may be indicated or implied. For example, she joined this school last month. The flight landed 10 minutes ago. So here the time is mentioned, but sometimes maybe not. Period of time. She worked in this school from 2003 to 2005. This is the period of time that between 2003 to 2005. Talking about past habit, it have some adverbs like always, never, often, and sometimes. I often went for a morning walk. So the adverb here I've used is often because it shows about the habit which was there in a person in somewhere in the past. Improbable. The word improbable means which is not likely to happen. For example about this, if I knew his address, I would tell you. So the person would be able to tell an address only if he would have known it. Second example, if I had money, I would purchase all this work. So he would be able to purchase all works only if the condition is that he is having money. Next tense, that is present perfect tense. Present perfect. This is a past moment, this is a present moment, and this is a future moment. Present perfect is something, a work which has happened in the past and is having some relation with present as well. In simple past, it have no relation with the present, and present perfect, it has a relation with the present. It tells about the action which has recently completed, and we take a word sometime, just also, in a sentence. Second, an action which began in the past, continues to the moment of speaking, and just finishes at that moment. Here, if you look at the chart for point number 2, an action which began in the past, the action has begun in the past, continue to the moment of speaking, you're speaking at the moment of the present, and it's just, it is just the moment you are speaking, the work isn't continuous, or possible that the moment you speak, the work has just finished at that moment. For example, We have been at OT for 2 weeks, or I have waited for you for 20 minutes. If I say I have waited for you for 20 minutes, that means the waiting work has started somewhere in the past. 20 minutes is the past at the moment of speaking in present. Somewhere in the past, 20 minutes ago, you started waiting for your friend. After 20 minutes, when you meet your friend, the sentence is, I have waited for you for 20 minutes. That means the moment you speak, the waiting time is over because for the person you were waiting is now with you. Third, an action which took place in the past but whose effect can be felt at the moment of speaking, which happened in past, but it's not compulsory that the moment you are speaking the work is over, but yes, you can feel it at the moment of speaking. For example, I have read all the major tragedies of Shakespeare. Somewhere in the past you have read all the tragedies of Shakespeare, but the moment you are speaking, you can feel it. Feel in a sense you are able to make out what all things you have read. A second example, the baby has had her milk. Next tense. Well, before starting with the next tense, there are a few points which to be kept in mind regarding that present perfect tense. That is, the present perfect tense does not take past time. Simple past, they take past time, but present perfect, it doesn't take past time. The adverbials like yesterday, last week, last month, etc. For example of it, I'll write two examples. I have qualified as a judo instructor in 2004, and on the other hand, I qualified as a judo instructor in 2004. So here are the two examples, that is, I have qualified as a judo instructor in 2004 and I qualified as a judo instructor in 2004. As I've said, that present perfect tense does not take past time. Have tells us we are talking about present perfect, and it doesn't take past time, and that's what here is happening. It is taking a past time, so this is a wrong sentence. Coming on to next, I qualified as a judo instructor in 2007. Qualified itself says that somewhere in the past, and the past time is given to us. Second point is that present perfect tense is not used in question beginning with when. Again, giving two examples. When have you bought this car? Second example, when did you buy this car? So here are the two examples, that is, when have you bought this car and when did you buy this car. So the point is that present perfect tense is not used in question beginning with when. So this is a wrong sentence, and coming on to simple past sentence, that is, when did you buy this car, is a right sentence. Showing you in the diagram, the two diagrams, that is, this is a movement which it is linked. The first movement here is where the action actually happened, and here it is linked. That means this is a present moment, this is a past moment. An action has started at past and is having a relation with the present, is linked, is a present perfect tense. Here again the action happened and here it is not linked. The action happened in the past, but in the present it is having no relation with it. This is what we're talking about, simple present.